this whole consolidation here, we're like, you got to pick up some chain. So I hope people picked up some chain because that was a layup for you guys. Right now, it's doing very well and it's still riding this trend line. I'd like to see this continue. We're at 0.015. We're making new all-time highs while the rest of the crypto market is just in blood red. Like, it's the only one up here in green, and it has been over the past week, basically. So chain is doing us wonders. What's up, guys? It's Monday, February 13th. It's 12:05 p.m. and this is the crypto market update. So we're going to start off with some of those charts that we look at to kind of see if the bull run and bear market what's the status on that? Are we ending the bear market? Are we heading into a bull market? These are the charts that we're going to look at to know this. So let's go and do this trend line. This is a 2-week chart and we had this trend line coming up. We already kind of were riding it. We broke down rejection, but we've been watching this right here as far as the trend line. Let me pull it up. We have this coming across like this. And on this candle, we broke down and that's what kind of sent cryptos up. And right now we're coming back up and it looks like we're trying to retest it as resistance. So if I kind of go down on the time frames, we can get a little closer look. We're curling back up. We want to see us get rejected at that trend line if we do press up to it. Let me go to a lower time frame now. Now you can see it a little better. So we're holding this as support. We're not quite yet up at that trend line for a rejection yet, but if we do come up there, we want to see us get rejected. So if I go to the daily chart, so I'm going to put this horizontal line right there because that's the line we need to come down and break through officially. It's a good sign that we broke this trend line coming up. It's all good and well. Actually, you know what? Let me put this down a little bit because we might have already kind of came up and retested this as a rejection. So it looks like it actually. So I missed that. So we have this trend line like this, where we had support, broke down, rejection. And then we just came up to it today and got rejected so far, or at least very close to it. So that is a good sign. We don't want to see us come up, say from this high down to this low. Yeah, and that 786 is coinciding with that perfectly. So we don't want to see us come up here. So I'm going to put a horizontal line right there, and that's where we want to get rejected at. So now let me go to, and that chart was the USDT plus USDC market cap against the total crypto market cap. Now let me go to the Bitcoin versus stock market chart. So we're on the 2-week and we got above a level that we really needed to, which is right here. You can see that was the point where when we went to our bull market back here in January, or we topped, came down, support at first, broke it, rejection, came down, rejection. When we got above, we flew, came back, support, kind of a breach of it, got back above, support, broke down with the FTX crash. And then we got above it up here and now we're coming down and it looks like we're coming to retest it. So we want to see that hold. And let me go down to a lower time frame now. And we got a trend line coming up that we want to see hold as well too, right there. So we're not quite yet there yet, but we're getting very close. And I do expect we're going to hold that point. So let me go to a 12-hour chart. We're pretty close to it. Very, very close to it. And I do think we're going to come down and we'd hold that as support. If I take this low to this high and we stretch it out, the 1618 of the breakdown of the extension is here around 1.65, which kind of coincides with the trend line here. We can kind of make it like this, and then we could even drag this a little lower if we wanted. But this area seems like an area where the support would come in, which is meaning Bitcoin would start to kind of consolidate and then move sideways. And if this chart starts heading up again like that, Bitcoin's outperforming the stock market, which usually coincides with Bitcoin bull runs. So that's what we want to see. So we could have some more room to the downside. Maybe for Bitcoin, we come fill that 786 area, the 21,000 that we've been talking about. Maybe a flash wick down to 20K to fill that futures gap. But we do have a little more room right there. So if we go to the stock market versus Bitcoin chart now, it's inverse. And we see that we had a gap over here that we just filled. So this was the gap that we put in the middle of January when cryptos were popping off. We have gaps though over here now. So here, down here. So there's all these gaps to the downside, which is actually good for crypto. And now there's no gaps to the upside. So we just filled that one gap, and now we can start to head down, and we could fill all these gaps. And that's going to be insanely bullish, because this is the chart that we were watching, that every single time we kind of come down and break this wedge pattern, or like this kind of flagging up, right? Every single time we do this and then break down from it, those are the crypto bull runs. So bear market, bull run, bear market, bull run, bear market. And we broke down, we started to come out of this bear market, and we right now fill in this gap, but we want to roll back down. It'll be a Bitcoin bull run. So that's what we're looking for that. Now let me go to the total crypto market cap. So I'm going to the 12-hour chart, and I took this low right here to this high, very close to the 786. So I'm going to put that horizontal line there just for the total crypto market cap. And we're like a hair away from it, really. So we're like 1% away from it. So that's not, I think that's like maybe 10 billion total. And that's something slight work. Like Bitcoin could pull that in itself, and we can get down to there. So we're getting closer to the end than the beginning, in my opinion. Could we come back down here? 100%. But so far, we've already kind of cooled off a lot of these indicators. Like we have the 12-hour RSI down here, right where we found our low back here, our low back here, our lows back here. So as far as the indicators and where we're at compared to the past and where the price was and where the indicators were, we already kind of cooled off, but we maintained up here. So we could be in for another leg for sure. And we're holding on top of a crucial support right now. That was the area where we broke off with the FTX. We reclaimed it, and we could see a hard bounce from this point. And that was the area where we broke down here. Rejection, 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 support, support, rejection, rejection, broke down, got above it, support. It would be, I think it would add some months on to us hitting certain price targets if we were to break down and close below here and start traveling down here. So I would want to see us hold where we're at and then continue to push up higher. We also have trend line like this, where we saw rejection, 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 got above support right now where we're at. So I want to see this area hold where we're at, around 940 billion, 935 billion. And I would like to see, this is what we've been tracking, the 12-hour chart, the stock RSI pull up here and get above the 50 line. So we can see this blue get rejected, come back down, the pink come back up. We need to see that. Let's go to the daily chart. And then if we have a strong move like that and a strong bounce to maybe come up here and retest $1 trillion, then the stock RSI on the daily will pull up, and it would save us from crossing down under the 0 line, which we do not want to do. That pushes us back into bearish territory. So we want to see a bounce come in here over the next couple of days. And then also we have this trend line on the RSI right now, and we're poking our head below it, but we still have some time for this candle to close, so we could easily kind of press back above it. But yeah, we're at a point where we want to start seeing some action and pop up some relief to the upside to avoid us going kind of down lower here and kind of dragging this bear market recovery longer. So that's what I'm seeing there. Now let's go to the total 3. So this is the altcoins. So everything besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm on the 6-hour chart. I'm looking at this low to this high. We have some room here more to the downside to hit the 786, which is about only like 2% though. It's not much. We're talking what, 10%, 35 billion. Yeah, like 5-10 billion. So maybe Bitcoin stays where it's at. The altcoins pull down, some select ones. And then that's what brings the total crypto market cap down to reach that 786. That's a scenario. So, but I believe we're closer to the bottom than we are to this being the beginning. I do believe that this was just its first leg up, and we're in for some much more bigger action here in the first half of the year. So, but we need to hold that level if that were to be the case. So we got to have our eyes on that level. We need to see the momentum start to kick back in here. Now let's go to the bond yields. Bond yields right now, we have this trend line coming down. We broke it for now, but we could easily pull back down. We could have a scenario where we're going to curl back down now. Let's go to the 9-hour chart, starting to show some momentum to the downside. 6-hour, starting to pull down. But I would want to see us break this trend line coming up and we're sitting on it right now. So it's going to be very telling today, by the end of the day today, if the bond yields are going to pull down, and then also if the dollar is going to pull down, because on the 4-hour chart for the dollar, we have this trend line coming up. We're sitting at it right now. And we definitely want to see a pull down in the dollar for us to have that rebound that we want. So we have that trend line coming down like this, and this actually stretches to this bottom here, I think. Yep. So we're sitting at a crossroads, a convergence right now, from this low all the way up, support right now. We have this horizontal line serving as a rejection point. We bounced on this for months over here, broke down, retested it as a rejection point twice, three times. 1, 2, 3 could be a triple top rejection. Us pulling down here would send cryptos back up and give it the relief that it needs. So we do see the 4-hour chart. We're pulling back down on the stock RSI. TSI didn't even get anywhere close to where it was at up here when we first originally hit it. So we want to see this continue to go lower and cross down through that 0 line. Then if we go to the 6-hour chart, same thing here, crossing down, MACD red. We want to just see us get below the 0 line to kind of cement in stone the dollar meltdown continues, right? So 12-hour chart shows the picture a little better here, as far as this area where we're getting rejected by is so important to get rejected by it because of how much it served as an area back last year, where we rejection, got above, support. Then we went up into our rally, came back down, support, broke down, rejection. So we want to see us come down and then ultimately break. So we're in like a range right now. I would say we're in this little range where we had this support come in around May 2022. We had the rejection up here. When we got above, we went. When we got here, support, broke down, support. Now we're at a rejection point. We want to see us come down and break this, sitting around 101.25, because then it would just be straight down, I believe, at that point. So we have this trend line coming like this as well too. And if we did come down and break this, it would bring us down to probably retest this area down here, which would be like the last stand for the dollar at 100, because that was the area where we found our like kind of base here. And then like our base here, and then we stretch it over, our base here, rejection. So like if we break down below 100, the dollar meltdown is confirmed to the max. And at that point, we'll probably see the hype boom really kick off for crypto. So go on the daily chart, we're still not above that 0 line. So a rejection right now would really kind of cement in stone the dollar downtrend is in full effect. If we roll back over, this could be a strong kind of rejection, pull us right back down to the bottom of this channel. And then we could see it break down like that. So that's what I'm watching. That's on my radar. But we're going to get telltale signs to that happening on the lower time frame. So the 12-hour right now crossing down, that looks good for that to happen. 9-hour crossing down, it's below this, it's crossing down. It looks very well for that scenario to happen. So we're going to have to watch how this kind of ends up by the end of the day. Stock market right now, 12,500. It's having a good recovery today, but Bitcoin hasn't had much of one. Could be because the SEC keeps, sending out these shots. So they're kind of holding us back. But I believe that it's just a way to kind of stall the ultimate kind of what's about to happen here. Cryptos are about to go. And with the dollar meltdown, there's going to be more fuel on that fire to make that happen. So we have the stock market right now in this kind of channel. We're pressing up today. And if we pull this trend line up like this, we broke down below it back on Friday, but now we're trying to press back above it. So I want to see the stock market end up strong today by the end of the day and us break to higher highs, get above like 13K. That would be solid, because that would just show and tell us what the future holds as far as the crypto price action. So 6-hour chart, we're seeing the momentum come up. I'd want to see on the 6-hour chart, though, the stock RSI get through this 50 line, because over here, we're doing right when we did that, after kind of breaking down, because you could put the trend line like this, and then we broke down, just like you could have put this trend line right here. Like say we broke down, we could put it like this and say, hey, we broke down. And then we do this U pattern. And then the stock RSI on the 6-hour, once it crossed up through here, we actually like reclaimed into this kind of just strong price action. So I want to see the 6-hour get above the 50 and us reclaim back above 12,700 at the very least, and then have candle body closes above that area. Then the 12-hour chart right now, we're holding above the RSI 50. We want to see that be the case as well too. And we want to see the stock RSI cross up above the 50. And it's likely we're going to have even a bigger push up here. So let's go to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin needs to hold that 786 around 21,144. We're seeing this stock RSI. We need to get it above the 50 line. We've been saying it's back here that until we get above the 50 line, we can't get really excited. So we're just kind of traveling like this, just going back and forth. And we just need to get up like that. And that's maybe we pull down like this and then we get that 12-hour cross up. We do something like that. Maybe there's some cleverly timed news or a catalyst around that time where it looks all doom and gloom. And then you have some people kind of selling out because they think it's going to crash lower. And then we have a catalyst that just shoots us back up and we start heading higher. So that's on the radar. So that's what we need to see out of there. 12-hour stock RSI, TSI cross up. RSI has cooled off to levels that we've seen at bottoms before. So it's looking like we're closer to the bottom than we are to the start of this. So let's go to XRP real quick. It's at 0.365. We actually did not get that 3-week buy now the other day because we had the 3-week candle closes, everything like that. So we didn't get that yet. So we still have the prepare to buy soon. We have not yet got the vertical blue line. So that if we can have a strong next 3 weeks here, if we can get back and reclaim above 41 cents, we'll get that vertical blue buy now. But now we have to wait 20 days. So it's going to be a very crucial next month this month is going to be very crucial to telling us how March and the rest of this year is going to play out. So far, so good, but definitely high alert during these next 20 days for anything that could throw a wrench into this current price action and us being so close to a big pop up. So I'm watching that. Also to mention, Chain is just crushing it for us, literally crushing it for us. We've been calling Chain back since November 2021. It was on our radar, but even now, we've been screaming at this whole consolidation here. We're like, you got to pick up some Chain. So I hope people picked up some Chain because that was a layup for you guys. Right now, it's doing very well and it's still riding this trend line. I'd like to see this continue. We're at 0.015. We're making new all-time highs while the rest of the crypto market is just in blood red. It's the only one up here in green, and it has been over the past week, basically. So Chain is doing us wonders, and you'll love to see it because we've been warning it for weeks now. So hopefully you guys have that to celebrate on, and we'll be watching the charts, seeing what we can convert Chain into. Once we see Chain start to roll over, we'll likely start to see the other coins start to build up momentum. So it's going to be a great hopscotch trade. Let's just say that. So I'll see you guys in the Discord and in the next video.